Speaker, my adjournment today is for the Minister for Planning. I'm pleased to see him in the chamber. The action I would like is for the Minister to reconsider a recent decision to fast-track the approval of a lead battery recycling facility at Hazelwood North in the Latrobe Valley. I understand the decision was made with no full environmental assessment and after it was rejected by the local council. I've been contacted by many distressed residents from the Latrobe Valley who are understandably quite upset and disappointed that Victoria's Planning Minister has approved this facility despite the community concern about health and environmental impacts. As I understand it, it will use a process akin to lead smelting, which can result in dangerous air pollution being released into the area around the facility, including lead and fine particles, and that similar plants overseas have a poor history of polluting and also poisoning local communities. The community in the Latrobe Valley is already suffering from some of Victoria's worst air pollution, including lead, mercury, sulphur and particle pollution from the 3 coal power stations. So I can really empathise with their high level of concern about another polluting industry setting up in their town. And as the Minister would know, the site is just 1.3 kilometres from Hazelwood North Primary School and 1 kilometre from homes. And the Greens are strong advocates for building our own local recycling industry in Victoria, but we are concerned about this being rushed through and whether there has been due process. In September last year, the local Latrobe City Council rejected planning approval for the facility because of the impact on local health and the environment. The developer appealed this decision. The matter was before VCAT, but before the process was finished, the Planning Minister decided to step in and approve it and fast-track it. And I understand that this fast-track ability was put in place during COVID to quickly approve shovel-ready developments that have net community benefit and create economic stimulus. But this facility isn't shovel-ready and really can't be considered to fit the category of providing net community benefit at the moment. The community put a lot of trust in this government during COVID, but for them to turn around and use special COVID powers to approve this facility before the VCAT hearing was complete seems to the community to be a little disingenuous and unfair. It's also concerning the project has been given approval without a full environmental assessment. I understand the EPA has granted works approval, but residents are concerned the decision was rushed and based on insufficient evidence. People in the Latrobe Valley have faced terrible air quality for a long time, from the coal power stations, the Hazelwood mine fire, post-logging burning, and soon a waste incinerator at the local paper mill. So any assessment of new industry really should take all this burden on the local community into account. And the local community wants jobs, of course they do, but not at the expense of their health and their kids' health. And it wasn't long ago that the government declared Latrobe Valley a health innovation zone, and the community would like that to be honoured. So I'd like the Planning Minister to put the approval on hold, go back and ensure there's a comprehensive environmental and health assessment is undertaken before considering whether it's an appropriate project to.
Can I say to the member for Melbourne in relation to the matter that she raised, which of course is the battery recycling facility in Morwell, I direct the member's attention obviously to my answer yesterday to the question from the member for Kew. I do want to acknowledge absolutely the fantastic work that has been done by my colleague, the member in the upper house, Ms Shing, and indeed the member for Morwell himself, who met on Friday with a group of concerned residents in Morwell, where they had a very extensive consultation for 3 hours, where in fact many of the matters that the member has canvassed were clarified, I think in some detail at those meetings, but that is not the end of that conversation. That is simply the start of that conversation that we will continue to have with the people of Morwell. We are acutely aware of the many challenges that are there, and I can assure the member for Melbourne we will always stand with that community. The final thing I should say by way of clarification, of course, is that whilst the member is correct in saying that the elected council at that stage did not support that particular proposal going forward, it was strongly recommended by the council's administration, and that the particular siting of this project is in an established industrial zone, which the Morwell City Council designated, and as the member would be well aware, that this facility is an as-of-right use. It's an as-of-right use, okay, in the Morwell industrial zone. So any third parties did not have rights at VCAT, and that was made both clear by VCAT at the time and indeed in subsequent conversations that were had with the community last Friday as well. As I indicated yesterday, we have put in place the most stringent controls over this facility, 38 controls that the EPA have put in place to satisfy themselves that in fact the health of the community is not in any way jeopardised by this development, and we will do further work with the community around that. The final thing I should say is that also the facility is subject to what's called a facility that is subject to negative pressure, so that in fact there is not the capacity for emissions to come out of this facility. I understand the passion of the community, absolutely I do. That they have had to deal with many significant challenges over significant decades. This government will always stand with that community, and I will always stand with that community as well. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Minister.